Welcome to the Introduction to SketchUp for Schools Part 2, where we're going to be talking about the workspace. I introduced it briefly at the end of Part 1. This is what we're going to be calling our model space over here, and what you can see apart from the landscape and the grass and the person that we're all going to make disappear eventually is that we have three axes, and we have a blue one up here which is vertical, a red one here, and a green one there. Now the red one is going basically from left to right, and the green one disappears into the horizon. These axes are all perpendicular to each other, and it's arranged as I say, blue is vertical, the red is the front, and the green is one of the going backwards for depth. We'll come about that a little bit more. Over here what we have is the main toolbar. You can see we have a file name at the moment is Untitled. We have an undo and redo button and saved or save button. Over here we have a menu itself where we can come to home, and this will allow us to create a new open document, select some of the previous documents models we've created, and there are some other options here that we may discuss at some point in time. Also in this menu you can go for new to create a new document, or open, and you can get those two from home. You can save as, which will allow you to actually save it with a new name in a new location, and we will be doing that in video 6. We can insert pictures, or either PDF or JPEG pictures, or we can import other types of documents, other type of CAD files, and we can insert them here from either Google Drive or your computer. Equally, we can export, and we can export a PNG, we can export a 3D printer STL file, or a variety of other CAD modeling formats. We can download, so if we've actually got the file here, we can save this onto the computer itself, onto our hard drive, and we can pick which version of SketchUp we wanted to download to. And we can also add its location and print. Now, adding location is something that really only applies to architectural buildings. It locates it in the world, and that can then be used by other people around you. And printing is a whole skill on its own. I've actually got a different way of doing things, but that is where you do it. Over here we have the Toolbars menu, and this is going to be the subject of parts 3 for the video series, and we're going to talk about some shortcuts for these in part 4, so I'm not going to go into any more detail about those now. Over here is what's called the panels. Now this has got more functionality that is over and above what we do with the actual drawing tools. That's going to be part 5 of the series, so I'm not going to be talking about that now. The only bits I need to show you still are down here. We have a button which allows you to get some help, and you can go launch your welcome tour there, or you can go get information from various places including the web internet. We have a button here that allows you to select the language, so if you prefer a different language and it's listed there, then help yourself, go ahead and put it in a different language. Make sure though that when you provide information to me, it'll open in English. And we have a little message bar here that says select objects, shift to extend, drag mouse, select multiple. This is just a little bit of information, so depending on what we're doing, it'll give you a prompt as to what to do next and what's going on in the drawing and in the model at that moment in time. Over here bottom right we have the measurements bar. Now this is dynamic, it won't always say measurements. You can use the number of sides of a polygon by doing this. You can copy multiple increments by typing a number in here, or when we draw lines or shapes or whatever, we can actually type in the dimensions that we need into this bar, or they'll appear in this bar. We don't actually click in. So this little measurements box here is very, very useful and very important to us. You need to know that it's there. And that is the general modeling space. You'll see it get used as we go through. We'll go through this toolbar in the next video in a bit more detail, and we'll move on from there. So I hope to see you in the next video where we'll discuss that. Thank you.